Hi, welcome to the Body Shop Physical Therapy. I'm Dr. Catherine Price. I'm a physical therapist, and in this video, I'm going to talk about sugar metabolism. And I want to discuss the exercise pathway and the insulin pathway. So those are two separate pathways that help us to regulate sugar in the skeletal muscles. So all the muscle in our body. And that is going to be the biggest reservoir for absorbing sugar. So that is one of the arguments for as we get older and lose muscle mass, we don't have as much reservoir to soak up the sugar, and we can become more susceptible to things like diabetes, which is where there is elevated sugar in the bloodstream. And before I begin, I want to speak a word of life from 1 Timothy 4:8. For physical training is of some value, but godliness is value for all things, holding promise for both the present life and the life to come. So when we exercise, we can uptake sugar. And what happens is there is a GLUT4 transporter. It's like a tunnel that goes into the cell membrane to soak up the sugar. And when you exercise, it's going to activate that GLUT4 to be transcribed, which is to not only be made, that protein made, but to translocate and go up into the cell membrane so that the muscle can take up and absorb the sugar. And then there's also the insulin pathway. And that is where when you consume sugar, carbohydrates, so the form of, so if you get your simple sugars, such from your fruits, or your complex carbohydrates from your pastas, your breads, those can break down into sugar molecules, and that's going to then send a signal for the pancreas to make insulin, and then the body responds by that elevated insulin. The insulin signals the GLUT4 in the cells to go up into the membrane and soak up sugar as well. So you can consume sugar to provoke the insulin pathway, and this is if you are sensitive to insulin. So that's one of the problems. If you've got type 2 diabetes, then your body's not going to respond to insulin. So this is when you are in a healthy state, you get a synergistic effect of both insulin and exercise. And what exactly does that mean? So synergy is when the sum is greater than the parts added together. So you get sugar uptake when you exercise, and you get sugar uptake in the presence of insulin. So both of those are going to lower your glucose. Now the effects of those, when you add them together, if in the presence of both insulin, so both the sugar, the carbohydrate intake along with exercise, if you added them separately, the actual, if you combine them together, it's going to be greater. So you're going to uptake sugar even more effectively in the presence of both exercise and insulin. And what does that mean? It means that if you are a healthy adult and have a good response to producing insulin when you eat carbohydrates, so eat those simple sugars, and then you go exercise, you're going to uptake those sugars even better than if you were to do either one of those alone. So if you exercise and there's lower insulin, then you're going to uptake sugar, but it's not going to be in the same effect as if you had the presence of insulin. So that is the synergistic effect, and there are research studies that demonstrate this time again, that there is a combined effect of both exercise and insulin. And an insulin independent pathway is the exercise pathway, and that is, again, going back to type 2 diabetes, is one of the ways that folks that have type 2 diabetes can help regulate their blood sugars by just exercising, because you will lower your blood sugar by contracting the muscle. And this is done by the GLUT4 transporter. So the benefits of both having insulin and exercise is beneficial when you're trying to really maximize your glucose metabolism and effectiveness. And the insulin that helps us get the sugar into the cell, that is also important for building muscle. So you want to get the sugar into the cells so that you can contract and give the muscle stimulus. And it's that muscle stimulus that is going to activate to keep your butt muscle and to signal to build muscle as well. So those are the explanation for just the synergistic effect of both the insulin and exercise combined. And again, it's greater than if they were done separately. I hope this is of help and have a blessed day. Thank you.